Here we go, rail fans! After years of anticipation and countless delays, Amtrak has just dropped huge news about its route between New York City and New Orleans. This announcement could reshape how thousands of travelers move across the country, so let's dive in and see what this is all about in today's episode of Great Trainspeed. The Amtrak Crescent, the storied overnight train that connects New York City to New Orleans through the heart of the South, has been on a remarkable journey in 2025. After welcoming 303,098 passengers in 2024, the new year brought not just steady growth but a surge of travelers rediscovering the beauty and comfort of long-distance rail. In May 2025, more than 206,800 passengers chose the Crescent, bringing in $25.1 million in operating revenue and $24.4 million in ticket sales. Just a month later, June saw that momentum accelerate, with ridership jumping to 234,800 and revenues climbing to $29.3 million. By July, the summer peak was in full swing, with 265,400 passengers filling the cars and revenues soaring to $33.7 million. In 2024, Amtrak released its Host Railroad Report Card for the year 2024, a document that once again highlighted the long-standing tension between freight and passenger rail in the United States. When Amtrak was created in 1971, part of the bargain was that passenger trains would be given dispatching preference over freight. Yet more than 50 years later, this promise remains unfulfilled. According to the report card, freight interference caused over 850,000 minutes of delay to Amtrak passengers in 2024 alone, a staggering figure that the report compared to watching Titanic back-to-back more than 4,500 times. The Federal Railroad Administration, FRA, has attempted to set a clear standard through its Metrics and Standards Rule, requiring that 80% of customers arrive on time. But the Crescent fell well short, achieving only 62% on-time performance in 2024. For passengers, this meant missed connections, disrupted plans, and an erosion of confidence in a train that should be a reliable spine of intercity travel across the Southeast. The problem persisted into 2025. In June, Amtrak's updated Host Railroad Report revealed that the Crescent continued to suffer some of the highest freight-related disruptions in the system, with an astonishing 1,009 minutes of delay per 10,000 train miles. For riders, the delays mean long waits on sidings as freight trains pass, while for Amtrak, they highlight doubts about whether reliable, passenger-first service can be achieved without stronger enforcement. Yet the Crescent's path in 2025 still shows rail's potential to connect people and offer a sustainable travel choice when mobility matters most. But recently, things have begun to change, and those changes could reshape transportation across this entire region. And that's exactly what we're revealing in today's episode. If this topic sparks your interest, make sure to hit the subscribe button to stay updated with the latest rail news. The world of trains, all in one place, only here on Great Trainspeed. The U.S. Justice Department has announced what could be a turning point for Amtrak riders on the Crescent route. Norfolk Southern has agreed to give passenger trains the highest priority over its freight traffic, settling long-standing allegations that the company regularly delayed Amtrak trains in violation of federal law. For passengers, this is more than a legal matter. It's about reliability on one of the nation's most iconic routes. The Crescent stretches 1,377 miles from New York City to New Orleans, linking 33 towns and cities. Yet for years, travelers endured frustrating delays as Norfolk Southern, which controls 1,140 miles of the corridor and dispatches all train traffic, often put its freight ahead of Amtrak. These delays not only disrupted journeys but also undermined public confidence in passenger rail. The Biden administration, which has made expanding passenger rail and advancing high-speed projects a priority, filed suit in July 2024. Federal law already guarantees Amtrak preference over freight, but officials argued that Norfolk Southern's repeated failures caused Widespread delays that harm and inconvenience train passengers, negatively affect Amtrak's financial performance, and impede passenger rail transportation. Under the settlement, Norfolk Southern has committed to a series of reforms designed to restore trust. All dispatchers will now be trained to honor passenger preference, and any decision not to prioritize Amtrak in non-emergency cases will require supervisor approval. The railroad must also share detailed records of delays with the Justice Department and work hand in hand to address their root causes. Perhaps most importantly, Norfolk Southern's Vice President of Compliance will certify annually that the company is meeting its legal duties. This added layer of accountability creates not just oversight, but also hope. Hope that trains on the Crescent will finally run with the punctuality and reliability passengers deserve. For Amtrak riders, the agreement represents a chance to move beyond years of delays and toward a future where passenger rail can truly deliver on its promise. So, what is the government saying about this? Are they taking a firm stance, or just leaving it at vague promises? Could new policies or funding shifts be on the horizon? And perhaps the bigger question is, will their words actually translate into real change on the ground? Norfolk Southern has described its latest agreement with the U.S. Justice Department as a framework that reflects our long-standing efforts to provide preference to Amtrak as required under the law and creates a process for ongoing oversight, including regular reviews of dispatcher training and evaluations of delay reduction. The settlement comes after years of criticism that the railroad repeatedly failed to give Amtrak priority on the Crescent route. Assistant Attorney General Brett Shumate emphasized the broader importance of the decision, stating that Americans traveling by train are entitled to trips free from delays caused by railroads failing to give Amtrak preference over freight trains. He noted that the settlement, combined with measurable performance gains on the Crescent route, shows the Justice Department's commitment to protecting passengers and strengthening rail service reliability. Federal law clearly requires Amtrak trains to be prioritized over freight, yet the department previously documented widespread violations that disrupted journeys, harmed Amtrak's finances, and limited the promise of passenger rail. The scale of these delays was evident in 2023, when the Crescent carried 266,000 passengers, but only 24% of its southbound trains operating over Norfolk Southern-controlled track arrived on time. Amtrak, however, reports the performance has already improved since the case was filed. On the Crescent alone, Norfolk Southern-related delays are down 34% year over year, while freight train interference has been cut by more than half. Across all Norfolk Southern-hosted routes, delays decreased 26%, FTI fell 42%, and ridership climbed 2%, signs of renewed passenger confidence. Amtrak praised the outcome, saying it appreciates NS's concrete steps to improve performance under its DOJ agreement, and reaffirmed its commitment to working jointly to deliver better service. Passengers are seeing the difference. From 2024 to 2025, delay minutes on the Crescent route dropped by 53%, marking one of the sharpest improvements in years. By requiring Norfolk Southern to train employees, obtain supervisor approval for any dispatching decision that does not prioritize Amtrak, and provide detailed delay records, the framework introduces a stronger system of checks and accountability. For passengers, it offers more than legal compliance. It signals hope for a future where Amtrak's Crescent and other long-distance trains can run with the reliability and dignity travelers deserve. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this update. I'll see you next time, and until then, stay safe and keep your passion for trains on track.